I am ready to join, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 rounds, and that's using worsted weights and a 5mm crochet hook. Don't forget I have a loose tension than most. And those stitch markers are there because I have one on each lot of increasing, because I got pretty much to where I am now, then realised I'd missed one of my increases, and this was just crocheted all the way around and there was no increases at all on one side, and I had to rip out 6 rounds. And if you're on Instagram, you would have saw that photo, and if I remember, I will insert that photo now and you can see why I was so frustrated. So now we're up to our joining rounds. Joining round, sorry, there's only one. And when we do this joining round, after this we're going to have some armholes, because it connects this part here to that part there on both sides, on the other end as well, and we can actually try it on. So at the moment you can try it on, but it's a bit hard to sort of see if it's going to be too tight under the arms. So we're going to do the joining round now, and then we're going to try it on, and I'm going to try mine on and show you what mine looks like as well. So for our joining round, I'm just going back to my pattern. We are going to chain 4. One, two, three, 4. This counts as a chain 3, so that's our first stitch. So you could do an alternative double crochet there, and then you could chain 1 if you prefer, but I'm just going to do a chain 4, and counts as the first stitch and a chain 1 space. Underneath the arm we are going to have a chain 1 space. If you are making a larger size, I would recommend putting 2, maybe 3 chains, maybe even 4 chains under the arm here, and that will give you extra room. I'm a size, what am I? I'm Australian size 10, ladies, which is about a 6, I think, in the US. And I just do a chain 1, that's fine for me. But if you're larger than that, then you may want to put a few more chains in. Like I said, you're going to know on the next, when we finish this round, if it's going to be comfortable under the arms, because we're going to try it on. We are going to skip the next lot of double crochets and the next chain 1 space. So looking at our work, we've got a heap of double crochets here. We're going to skip all these, and we're going to go to the next chain 1 space, which is here. And if your work is folded like that, we're here, it's just the chain 1 on the other side of the work here, and this is our armhole. So we're skipping all of those. Oops, I've almost pulled my chain out there. Skipping all of these double crochets. I'm just finding my chain 1 space, and then I'm just going to organise myself. There we go. This chain 1 space, we're going to skip that, and in the next double crochet, which is here, we're going to work a double crochet. So skip the chain 1, double crochet in the next. If you've made the cardigan or the baby sweater or the baby cardigan before, then you are going to know this part and what to do. But if not, it's really easy. So we've joined our work. I'm just going to reshuffle. And now we're going to work along here, along the double crochets, and this is the back or the front of our work. At the moment we don't have a back or a front. So this is the long part of crochet that we have that goes along the back or the front of our work, and this is the other armhole on this side. So it's a bit hard to show you it all because it's all kind of trying to squash into this tiny little screen I have here to show you. Even though it's a lot bigger on your computer screen, it's not much room to play around with. So we're going to double crochet in each stitch, and we're going to go all the way until we get to the next chain 1 space. We're not going to crochet into that chain 1 space. We're just going to stop the double crochet before that chain 1 space. So pause the video and I will meet with you when we're ready for the next section. So I've crocheted all the way across and I'm up to the next armhole. So if you're folding it down, like laying it down properly, oops, you've got the armhole there and then the chain 1 on the other side. It's really hard to fit in the camera. So there you go, you're looking at it upside down. That's how yours will look as well, because it'll be upside down. We're going to skip the chain 1 space. We're going to skip the next lot of double crochets and then we're going to go around to the other side. First of all, we want to chain 1. If you are making a larger size, I would recommend putting 2, maybe 3 chains, maybe even 4 chains under the arm here, and that will give you extra room. I'm a size, what am I? I'm Australian size 10, ladies, which is about a 6, I think, in the US. And I just do a chain 1, that's fine for me. But if you're larger than that, then you may want to put a few more chains in. Like I said, you're going to know on the next, when we finish this round, if it's going to be comfortable under the arms, because we're going to try it on. So we're skipping the chain 1 space, skipping all these double crochets and finding our next chain 1 space. Which is here. We are going to skip that and double crochet in that next stitch. So that's our chain 1 space, skip that one and double crochet in the next double crochet. And again, we are going to double crochet all the way, and I'm pretty sure it will be the end of the round. Just making sure. Yes, because now we are only crocheting in the body section. So our body section is between this finger and here, and then the rest of it over here is our armholes, and we don't crochet on that at the moment because that's where we're adding our sleeves in. But just between these 2 points, we're going to crochet around like so. So now we just need to, I need a wider screen. We joined over here, we're going to crochet all the way across to here. So pause video and I'll meet you when we are up to joining. So we are up to where we started. We've got this little funny chain here and we're going to join into the 3rd chain. So 1, 2, 3. And this finishes off our joining round. Oh, if I can get it. Finishes off our joining round. So I'm going to pull that really long. And now we can try it on. So in the next part of the video, you're going to see me trying it on. So I'll be back in a minute. So before you try it on, you want to make sure you have a long, you just want to pull out that yarn so that you don't accidentally pull out all your stitches. So at the moment there is no front or back. It's pretty much the same, so it doesn't matter how you try it on. But what I do is, when we sew this bit up, that's generally at the back. So you could use that as a guide. So we're going to put that at the back, but like I said, it doesn't matter because it's the same size all the way around. I'm going to take my glasses off because I can't see, you're all blurry. I have a habit of getting stuck in my t-shirt. I'm sure if you wear glasses you totally understand. And now I can't see a thing in the viewfinder. And you don't want to be too far up, my yarn ball's just down there, but you don't want to be too far away from that either, or else you'll have yarn everywhere. Right, so at the moment, the neck is going to look a bit, a bit odd. It kind of goes a little bit baggy and but when we crochet around it, it's going to be completely fixed, right? So don't worry about that too much. Then you can't feel this because you're not wearing this, but I can feel by the way it's on me that it's not too tight under the arms, because I can do that it's not obviously not a sweater yet, but it's not really tight under the arms, so I know that it's not too tight. So everyone's going to be different. I have these little stick arms that never fill out any t-shirt. And then I'm bigger in the chest, and so everything's too small in the chest, and if I get it to fit the chest, then it's way too big in the arms. First world problems here, people. So I know that's great fit for me. I wouldn't want to go any smaller. If I push my top in, you can see how much room. So I've probably got about that much between my actual armpit, so about an inch between my armpit and the actual join here. You don't want it much smaller than that because it restricts your movements and you're kind of wearing a straight jacket. So I'll just, not that it's really going to matter, but I'll turn around so you can see the back. And don't worry about, if you're worried about how the arms stick out here, I have that problem with all my t-shirts. Because my arms don't fill up the t-shirt hole. But this, if yours is sticking right out, it's not too bad on this one, but on my cardigan that I made, if you've seen that video, you'll notice the arms, yeah, that one's really sticking out, yeah. They really stick out, but once you put on the sleeves, that completely disappears and it just smooths over. And if you're making short sleeve version, you can crochet around it to bring it in and it won't stick out like that if you don't like that look. If you do like that look, then that's all good. So yeah, so now we are going to start the body for our sweater, and you can do it with one colour or you can do it with two colours. So I'm going to show you how to do that in just a moment. Now I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I got my hair cut. Did anybody notice? If you remember, it was like down here somewhere, like off screen, and it used to touch, I can't even get in there, but it used to be like down to my, almost down to my belt. I absolutely love it this length. I've had it like this since before Christmas. It's now nearly the end of January, and I got it done, I can't remember actually, I think it was the end of November, but I don't regret it 1 minute. I have a fringe, or what some of you call bangs. I didn't really have that before, it was all long and in my face and carrying on. A little bit laid in the front, and I thinned it out too because I have really thick hair, or did have really thick hair, and it just sort of, so they thinned it out, layered it a little bit in the front and on the back bit there, and I love it. And I'm also due for another haircut because my fringe, this isn't a hair tutorial, it's a crochet tutorial. My fringe was like up here and now it's, yeah, my hair grows so fast. Anyway, let's get on with the next part of the video. And I'm sure you've noticed Barry here. This is Barry the Button Monster. He's made by my awesome friend Erin, or Gimme Yarn 418 here on YouTube and also on Instagram and Ravelry. I know that the pattern is on Ravelry, it's knitted, but you'll have to go and check out her project page and see what pattern she used because I can't remember off the top of my head. But he's awesome, and he wears all my badges that I have that are all crochet related and stuff, and yeah. Anyway, back to the tutorial. From now on, our body is going to be worked in a spiral, because if we join at the end or the beginning of each round, it is going to get a seam. And I don't know if you've ever made a hat and you get that really ugly seam, but I have not yet figured out how to get rid of that seam. If you have some magical way, then you're most welcome to join at the end of each round, but I haven't, so I'm going to work it in a spiral. And what we do, I'm going to show you how to do both ways. So I'm going to show you how to do it with the one colour. We join our yarn over here and we just continue around and around. But if we're using two colours, which I originally wasn't going to, but now I'm looking at my pink just off camera here, I'm thinking I want a striped bottom to my sweater. So we're going to join one colour here, so this is already joined, so that's our blue, that'll keep going. And the other one we're going to join over here and it's going to spiral around. Then when we've made, I'm going to show you how to do this, but I'm just telling you as well, when we've finished the length of the body, we always want to finish off that same colour on the same side of the sweater. So it's going to come down like this, you're going to spiral around, and when we're finishing off with one colour, we want to stop crocheting on that same side. But like I said, I'm going to show you that anyway. So you are going to have a chain 1, or you might have a few more chains. It doesn't matter what you've got under the arm. It does not matter at all. So I'm going to zoom in a bit. And what we're going to do is, I've got a chain 1, so I only put 1 stitch under the arm. If you have 2 chains, you're going to do 2 stitches under the arm. If you've got 3, you're going to do your 3 stitches and so on. So we are going to do a chain 1 to start, and then everyone is going to go into the armhole and do a single crochet. Now, depending on how many chains you have under the arm, you may work them under the arm or into the stitches here. So, like I said, if you've got 3 chains under your arms, you're putting 3 stitches in there. And if you've only got 1 like me, you're only going to do 1. But your next stitch, so your first one will be a single crochet, your second one will be a half double crochet. So if you've got 2 chains, your second stitch is going to go in the hole, not in the stitch. And your third stitch is a double crochet, which for me is on here, but if you've got 3 chains, it's going to go in that hole as well. I'm hoping that makes sense. It doesn't sound like it's making any sense. So however many chains you've got, that's how many stitches go into the hole. I'm hoping that makes sense. Okay, so now we're just going to double crochet. And we're going to double crochet all the way until we get to the other side of our work. So until we get to the other armhole chain space. So you might have chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, etc. So we're here. We're going to work all the way around. Did I mention I need more space on this camera, especially when making bigger items? So we're crocheting here. We're going to crochet all the way across until we get to the next armhole, and I'm going to meet you there. So pause the video and I'll be back in a second. So I'm up to my next armhole. So this is the big armhole gap. And if you're using the same colour, you are going to double crochet into the armhole for as many chains you have. So I have 1 chain, so I only do 1 double crochet into the armhole. If you've got 2 or 3 chains, you do 2 or 3 double crochets into the armhole. And then you work your way around and you just keep going. But if you want to do 2 colours, and this is going to make a striped version, you join your new colour, which is my pink, into this space. So just grab a hold of that yarn, pull it through, leave a tail there for sewing in later, or you could crochet over it. Just going to do a chain to attach that on, and we are going to work a single crochet. If you have more than 1 chain, so like we did on the other side, if you've got 1 chain, you just do 1 stitch in there, 2 stitches for 2 chains, 3 stitches for 3 chains. Our next stitch is a half double crochet. For me, it just goes into the crochet instead of the armhole space. And the next stitch is a double crochet. So this is basically what we did around the other side with the blue. And we just continue on. Now, when you come around to the other side, no matter if you're using 1 colour or 2, you are eventually going to get to where you started that colour. So, for instance here, this is where I've started the pink, which is pretty obvious. I'm going to show you how to crochet across. It's really simple, but I'm going to show you how to do it anyway. And if you didn't change colour, let's go to the other side, it's the same colour, but it looks exactly the same apart from the colour, because you've got your single, your half, and your double crochet. And you can see on this side you've got your single, your half, and your double crochet. So all we do, no matter what colour you're coming up to, whether it's the same or if it's different one, we're just going to double crochet into the top of that single crochet, and then into the half double crochet, and then continue on working your way around. And we do this, so if you've got one colour, you're not going to come back to another start of a colour like that, like we do if you've got two, because you're going to have one starting point, so you're only going to do that once. If you've got two colours, you're going to have two starting points for each, like one for each colour, so then you're going to do that twice, come to that little bit where you just step up. And you are going to continue. So what now? I would drop the blue because I'm almost running out of pink stitches. Pick the pink one up and continue on until I run out of blue stitches. So when you come back around, it'll be up here. Drop the pink, pick up the blue, and continue on. We're going to do this for the length we want our sweater. And depending on how wide you want your band at the bottom, I normally do mine about 1 inch, which is 2.5 centimetres. You're going to continue on with your body until you are the 1 inch short, if that's what you want to do for your band, 1 inch short of how long you want your sweater. And don't forget, try it on as you go, just in case you make it way too short or you make it way too long. And in the next video clip, I will either be showing you how to finish off, or it'll be me wearing my project so far. So happy crochet. Happy crochet until then. Hi guys, so as you can see, I have completed the length of my sweater, and I'm leaving just enough. I hope you can see this. I need to stand on tippy toes. Leaving just enough to put a sort of a 1 to 1.5 inch band on the bottom, and then we'll be ready for our sleeves. And I don't know if you can tell, but my yarn is still attached. You can probably see it's still attached. So where you have joined, so you've got two colours. If you've joined pink on this side, you're going to finish your pink row down here. And if you've joined blue on this side, you're going to finish that colour down here. If you've just got the one colour, if you've, say it's joined on this side, or it started on this side where we did the single crochet and half double crochet, that's where you're going to stop down on this side here. And just lay this flat on the ground or a flat surface like a table, and you'll be able to see where the side is and where you need to stop. So our next part of the video is how to do the bottom edging. Just in case you're wondering, this is how much blue I have left, so it's not very much. And the pink one, I just weighed it, and it's 128 grams, so it's almost halfway in the pink one, because that's a 200 gram ball of yarn, and I've only used it on the stripes. So we are now ready to finish off, and we do this for both colours. So I'll only just show you on the one. And if you've only got one colour, then you're only going to do it on one anyway. So I've got my stitch marker here, and this is marking about the third stitch, 1, 2, 3. And what we need to do, I'm going to finish off my pink colour, and this is what you need to do. You need to half double crochet in the next stitch, and then single crochet in the next. If you are using the colour you're going to do your band with, you don't do the next bit, you just leave it at the single crochet. But I'm going to show you on the blue one. Sorry, I said I wasn't going to show you, but I'm going to show you on the blue one to show you what to do for the band. So we've done a single crochet, and our next stitch is a slip stitch. So we can cut off our yarn, cut off about 2-3 inches. That just gives you a good amount to sew in your ends. So we can get rid of our pink yarn. Sorry guys, I'm just yarn organisation. And then we can just pull that out like that. And I'm going to go across to my blue one. And like I said, if you had one colour, you wouldn't have cut your yarn off, because you're going to continue on for the band on it. I'm just going to shift it around. It's getting quite big now in front of the camera. So we put it on there. So again, I've got my stitch marker just to remind me where the side of the garment is. Got about 3 stitches there. I do a half double crochet in the next one, and then single crochet in the next, and we're going to single crochet all the way around. So this blue one now becomes the bottom band colour of my jumper or my sweater or my jersey. Just depends where you live on what you call it. What do you call it where you live? What would this garment be called? Where I live, it would be called a jumper. But I know I've heard it be called a jersey and also a sweater. So we're going to single crochet all the way. And when we come back around with our single crochet, you'll notice here it kind of dips down. We're just going to single crochet all the way along and just keep going around. I am going to do about an inch. It's probably going to be about 5 or 6 rounds. So I will see you when we are ready to finish off our band. So we want to finish off our band on the same side that we started it. So I've just got my stitch marker there to remind me. And we're just going to do a slip stitch to finish off. Then we're going to cut our yarn again, leaving 2 to 3 inches. So we've got enough to sew in. And that is the bottom band complete for our sweater. So I just did 1, can't count it that way, 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds on the band, and that is about just shy of an inch.